guys, in this video we are going to talk about codependency. But you know what? We're trying to break through from that because guess what? You can. Codependency is completely healable, if you will. So if you find, you know what? Gosh, I think I'm codependent. Guess what? You don't have to stay that way forever. All you got to do is the work. All right? It's reprogramming yourself to go about things a different way. See things a different way. Sincerely, though. It needs to be sincerely. This way it sticks. Not just because Coach Lakia is telling me to do it, but because you know what? I'm connecting with that and I can accept this now. I can get out of resistance of my old ways and actually step into acceptance of this new way. I'm ready for that, okay? So in this video, I'm going to give you 3 things that codependents are notorious for doing that we need to stop, okay? So let's work on these 3 things and you're going to be on your way from, breaking these toxic patterns and ways of behaving, all right? So the first thing is being too open and available. When people call, you come running. You stop, you throw down what you're doing, you put yourself to the side and run to other people. You have something planned. You cancel your plans and run and be at their beck and call. In that moment, you're telling them, you're more important than me. I care about you more than I care about myself. And a lot of times it's training people to eventually expect you to be that way all the time, guys. And that's not a good look because you're not anybody's servant. You're not anybody's lapdog. You're not anybody's slave. Okay, so people treat us the way that we train them to treat us. Okay, so we want to break that habit. All right. If someone calls you and you're in the middle of something, and you want to help them, it has to be on your time, right? Because a part of that is teaching people that you're on their time instead of your own. This is your life. You're inside of your own body. You're on your own path. You need to really be on your own time. That's the best way to ensure that I'm in my own purpose and I'm in the right place at the right time. Not because other people are telling me what I should be doing, but because it's what my spirit and soul feels like I should be doing. And I'm having balance with that, because that's another way to wear yourself out. Okay, and to be in balance. Like you're supposed to be getting your rest. You're supposed to be doing this and that, but instead you're doing something. You're abandoning that, including yourself, and you're running over to them, but that's still waiting for you after you've put energy into that. So now you put energy here, there, okay? And then the stuff that you need to put energy into for yourself is not getting the appropriate energy because you're spread too thin. All right, codependents. So you need to stop being so open and available. All right, and being, you know what? Let me give you another way to look at this. The best way to not be so even needy for those invitation and invites is to not to need to be invited. Codependency is a lot about being accepted. But if I don't need that invite, I'm certainly ain't looking for it. So when I get it, I'm not like scrambling to accept the offer. You know what I'm saying? I'm chill. I'm cool. Like, I can give or take. I can pass. I can say no to things. All right. Because that's another indication when you're too open and available of not being able to say no. Be able to keep it real, because then you're going to be resentful later because you really wanted to do what you wanted to do, but your need to be liked, your need to maybe avoid conflict makes you keep saying yes and overextending yourself, all right? So we need to, yet again, of course, I'm saying this again, because repetition is our friend in a healing process. And some of you are going to need to replay this video because some things might even fly over your head. So replay this video as many times as you need as well. Put it in your back pocket, especially for the severe codependents out there. But you're too open and available. Just because someone wants to ask you out on a date, wonderful, okay. Maybe it's not wonderful, who knows? But that doesn't mean that you need to accommodate them. The date needs to happen when you're ready and when it works for you. And if it can't, then Maybe it wasn't meant for you to go out on that date. Maybe they're showing you early signs of being inflexible, being demanding, being selfish, and all those type of things, guys. So let's stop being too open and available. All right, so my number 2 is going to be a little bit connected to number 1, taking on more jobs than you're supposed to. I have enough. God has put enough on my plate with me. And when we're doing it right, we're pretty much having enough on our plates to deal with ourselves. Like, I got my own problems, I got my own issues, I have my own responsibilities, I have my own things to work on within myself. But yet, when we're too open and available, we're running to other people's beck and calls and abandoning ourselves. We're actually adding more jobs to the picture as well. It's not your job to make sure everyone else is happy and balanced while you become imbalanced in doing so. It's not your job to do other people's jobs and abandon the jobs that you have to do for yourself in the process of doing so. And these are like notorious things that codependents do, and it leads to them being off balance, okay? So taking on more jobs, we're going to stop doing that. It's not your job. And yet again, spreading yourself thin. It's not your job to clean up everybody's messes. You got to clean up your own messes first. All right? Like, it's time for you to discriminate and be extremely selective with how you use your energy and your resources, guys. All right. And they have to first be negated to yourself, because you're no good to everyone else when you're scattered and unorganized yourself. All right. So let's stop taking on more jobs. It's not your job to take on everybody. Look, stop trying to save the world complex. Okay. All right. You can't rescue your friends and families per se. They have their own battles. They have to see things for themselves. All right, because you ever hear that saying, if you teach someone how to fish, they can fish for life. But codependents, they just keep giving out the fishes. They're giving out fishes. There's nothing wrong sometimes, if you have a moment or you have that time to try to explain to someone, how they can get themselves out of the situation. I don't have to get you out. Maybe I can give you some good advice, lead you to some resources, some nonprofits and things like that. I'm just saying here to help guide a friend that you care about. But a lot of times codependents are teaming up with narcissists, and narcissists don't want to do the work. They just want to be rescued. They just want other people to be their servants. And that's the problem with most codependents. You're making these relationships and connections out of your brokenness. And then later you find out, oh my gosh, I really got a clean house. It wasn't just that romantic relationship. Like, dang, all my friends are like this. Like, I'm just surrounded. And then you really have to start letting go of people and detaching out of your own self-love and self-preservation. Okay, so stop taking on more jobs, guys. Come on, less is more sometimes, because you can focus on something and really grow it. Then you got like 20 jobs, and 19 of them aren't even your responsibility, aren't even your place to be doing. Okay, so really consider what you're taking on in your life and how that's stealing energy and resources and time from the things that you should be focused on. And consider what is your place and what isn't your place. To be intruding on someone, to be trying to rescue other people as well. Okay, codependents? All right. Number 3, you don't mind your emotional currency. Yeah, and that might be a new thought to some of you, our new phrase, emotional currency. But you end up being spent, because you're too emotionally attached. Codependency enmeshes with, a person, place, or a thing, enmeshes, becomes one with. So, losing that ability to be able to feel sorry for someone without taking all their problems and putting it on my plate. or then feeling like I have to fix it all. That's enmeshment. And emotional currency is caring too much about what people think, what people say about you, and their opinions, period. This is all emotional currency. All right. In a perfect world for recovering codependence, they have a shield. And that shield says no matter how much I love a person, no matter how long they've been in my life, no matter what title they have, it's my mother, it's my father, my brother, my sister, my son, my daughter, my husband, my wife. No one gets a certain access to me. No one has the authority to be able to X, Y, and Z with me. Nobody, no one externally can define my self-worth, my self-esteem. Such things like that. No one can do that. No one can break it. No one can take my happiness and my joy and my peace. This is emotional currency that we give out to other people that we need to take that back. Sorry. Take it back, because I'm the rightful owner of it. It was never anything that I should have given to somebody else, okay? So minding your emotional currency, guys, all right, is going to help you be emotionally stronger, instead of being emotionally vulnerable, prematurely attaching to people, putting other people in their thoughts and on a throne, taking what they say and attaching to it in the worst way and at all. Like, okay, we can agree to disagree. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Oh, I think you're ugly. I think you're stupid. I think you're this and that. Sounds like a personal problem, Like, be detached from other people and what they're saying and feeling, no matter who they are. You will be so bulletproof at that point. It is the most freeing thing in the world. I know, because I've gotten there, guys, and it's a wonderful place to be. All right, so let's go over those 3 things again that codependents need to stop doing. All right, stop being so open and available. If you got plans for yourself, I don't care how well, they're having an emergency and maybe it's more important than me going to the gym to work out. Oh, I can wait. Or, yeah, I was just only going to go shopping for myself. Like, that's not more important than what they got. No. You're not going to drop and stop your life for other people. Stop. Live your life putting yourself first, guys. All right? Instead of last or not even a priority at all. All right? Number 2, we're going to stop taking on more jobs than you're supposed to. Everything is not automatically your responsibility. All right? And again, it's taking precious energy and resources from the things in your life that you're really supposed to be focused on. It's taking you off your purpose, guys. All right? And number 3, you're going to mind your emotional currency. Mind your emotional currency. Stop prematurely attaching to people. Stop putting people's thoughts and ideas on a throne. Stop caring about what people think. So what? Detach. You become an individual when you do this. You actually detach from other people and their opinions and thoughts. We can agree to disagree. If you don't even want to agree to disagree, hell, that's on you too. But you cannot shake my core. You cannot determine my self-worth and self-esteem. You cannot tell me what I'm worthy of and what I'm not. You don't get to do that. And I get to the place where if the whole world was against you, you would still love yourself, still be there for yourself, guys. That is the kind of shield that you need to have. And once you have that, you will be unstoppable, okay? You won't be having the emotional abuse that you keep experiencing because you're putting other people and things ahead of yourself. You're making it more important than you. That relationship is not more important than you. I'm not going to abandon myself to participate in a toxic relationship because that's what you're doing at that point. You're abandoning yourself for that relationship. Okay? Got to stop it, guys, and we have to do better. All right? So I hope that this is giving some insight to people who believe they're codependent or know that they are and they're in that work. they're doing that shadow work. I do offer one-on-one coaching, guys. Go to my site, www.lakiacrawford.com. That link is below all of my videos. Get you some help, okay? Be willing to make those investments in yourself. I do voice calls, I do Skypes and FaceTimes, I do email coaching, and you know, it's priceless. I have a Patreon, guys. You can support my channel and my cause through that way and get some wonderful, wonderful perks, all right? Look at the different tiers of memberships and what they come with and see if something will work for you. I have a support group, guys, over on Facebook for survivors of narcissistic abuse. You're welcome to come there. It ain't gonna hurt to be surrounded by people who get it and understand. All right. And I put daily threads where you guys can communicate and interact with each other. And then, of course, uplifting messages and thoughts and information as well. All right. So go ahead and check that out, guys. Keep doing the work. Like I always say, never give up on yourself. And until next time, please take care.